Tonight's show is brought to you by Ventura Training and Athletics. Restore, train, maintain. Specializing in the restoration of the muscular system to help you move and feel better. Combating TBI, PTSD, and pain through specialized strength training. Again, get your body right, get your mind right, defeat the demons.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, and Joe. Today's special guests are Mike, a Navy SEAL who didn't write a book but sells gummy bears, and a Marine who runs a backyard wrestling circuit.
Hey, happy Saturday, Trash Talkers. Cheers to everybody. I'm drinking a little water today. Welcome to episode 16. Make sure you guys go on our website, veterantrashtalk.com. Check out our sponsors. They're doing amazing things. Also, our special guests for today are Mike Danley, former Navy SEAL, pretty badass. And then we got Mike Youngman, former Marine or still a Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine. I don't know. We're going to get into all of that. Obviously, I'm here with Nick and Joe and Buddy. And let's get this party started. Over to you, Buddy.
First of all, so Mike Donnelly, he's here. He's a Navy SEAL. And Mike Young Guns, he's also here. So that's cool.
We know
Anyway,
your guys' name, we promise.
I might be,
Get 'em, buddy,
be from
get 'em.
Alabama, but I can read. Not a huge deal. Let's talk about the literacy rate in Alabama now, Nick. Jesus, Dave, what are you doing? Anywho,
Dave's from Europe. Dave is from Europe,
man.
okay?
I just
Oh,
didn't
man. He doesn't have that weird symbol underneath over the damn letters, so he can.
How many languages do you speak, buddy? That's what I got in Iraq. Every single day. How many languages are you and Ray speaking?
Whoa. Not a huge deal. But first of all, I speak at least 3 dialects of English.
Backwoods, Alabama doesn't count.
I speak redneck, regular, and I can dabble in some Yankee, but I also speak modern standard Arabic. So la mushkila, homeboy.
Inshallah. God wills it. Inshallah.
I don't
Chef
understand.
Barak.
What's wrong with one language, being English? Like, who cares? Like, English and?
Well,
English
yeah.
I also speak 556 fairly well. 762, I'm completely fluent in.
That's not what you were doing at Spiker. That's not what you were doing at Spiker.
Do you watch the news so you could have seen my more recent deployments, or are you too busy recruiting people?
Well, he's recruiting all your cannon fodder.
They're so secret, man. They're so secret. That's why we don't hear about them.
You can't recruit my cannon fodder because those little fellas don't even know they're cannon fodder until they get caught up. Anywho, honesty cap time. Hey, so this whole coronavirus thing, starting to get real annoyed with one thing in particular with the coronavirus.
Just one.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but does coronavirus does it legitimately have to be the excuse for every fucking reason that nobody wants to do any fucking thing that they have to do? Period.
Yes.
Like everything that you go to a store and you ask somebody, like, well, we don't have it right now for coronavirus. Like, you don't have fucking bubble gum right now because of coronavirus? What the fuck is going on in the bubble gum factory? Like, I went to, I got some furniture. During the coronavirus, and they were like, yeah, it can't be delivered right now because of coronavirus. Like, bitch, you sold it during coronavirus. I can't get it during coronavirus? That doesn't even make sense. Anywho, that's my honesty cap moment for the day. On to you, Joe.
Oh man.
Hey, you remembered.
For the love of God. Yes, the excuse for everything is COVID. That is it. I had a very important appointment that only my business partners would know this week, that COVID was used as an excuse for why things couldn't happen. So yes, buddy, COVID's the excuse for everything. Until the election's over. Whoops, I didn't mean that. All right, here it is. Listen.
You're a racist.
Yeah, well, you guys aren't going to like this either.
I'm offended, Joe. I'm offended.
Yeah, well,
Well, I don't think the presidential nominee is going to remember that there is an election by election time.
If you're offended, if you're offended now, then get out. Because here we go. Here's my soapbox. Stop posting the story of the 5-year-old boy who was executed by his neighbor next door. Did that make you feel better? Did you do anything to make it easier for his mother and father to get out of bed that morning? Or was that a political statement? You red star cluster popping alarmist media puppets. Nick, was the man arrested?
I believe so.
Okay.
He was arrested.
Is he going to do life in prison? Probably. So what injustice are you talking about? Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. The media isn't saying enough about it to satisfy you. Well, therein lies the rub, my friend. The majority of you people who post things like this
What
are
do you
hoping
mean,
the
you
media...
people?
Easy, big fella. I'm not done. The majority of the people that post things like this are hoping the media and other people validate what is important to them. And for the people that fit those demographics, I really do feel sorry for you. You're being played 100% by the mainstream media, and you're feeding in and creating the divide between people who don't look like you. Okay, that little boy looked like my little boy, and so the media is not going to cover it. Stop being triggered, you freaking pansies. That has nothing to do with it. The kid's own father said this was not race related. The kid's own grandmother said this was not race related. And every time you post something saying that he looked like this, so they're not going to do anything about it, you are feeding in to that nonsense and then saying in the same breath, let's all get along. Wake up. All right. I had many brothers that looked just like me that died honorably in combat. Does that mean that I get to exploit their death to use a racial or political debating standpoint? I mean, let's be adults. And I know that I'm going off a script because this is actually something that is so upsetting to me. And Sud says, don't ever go off a script, Joe, because it's not like you, but I have to. Realize that the media doesn't give a shit what's important to you. Okay, you don't make enough money to matter. And if you're waiting for them to report something to validate what was important to you, then it wasn't really that important to begin with. Okay, we're not doing any of this for media. We're not doing any of this to get people to look at us.
No problem.
All right?
Just let me know if you need anything.
That was my Google. She actually answered me. Beck, I'm going to quote you. Beck, I'm going to quote you on this one. If the wheels of justice don't turn fast enough for you, then sack up, put some skin in the game, and be part of the solution instead of sitting there and bitching about it. Yeah, I got another page. I hear everybody talking about George Floyd's family got this, and what about this kid? I don't hear anybody talking about the Gold Star Century teams that Bill works with. Do you? Has any of you guys? Does anybody even know what they're talking about? See, our brothers that passed away, you didn't hear a news story about it. And you want to know why we didn't get offended? Because we knew exactly what happens when we signed up for doing what we were doing. Stop being such triggered pansies. Look at what's going on in the world and realize that what's important to you better be what's important to you behind closed doors. Otherwise, the regular world's not going to validate it. All right, that's all I got. I'm done, Dave.
Say it loud so everybody in the back can hear, brother.
Yeah. Well said, Joe. And yeah, going off script is sometimes difficult for you, but I think you nailed it on that one. Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
There's a script. There's a script.
He was
I didn't
wrong.
know
like I
there
said,
was
I
a
had,
script.
buddy, 6 recorded concussions. I don't know how many other ones. I had to write that shit down, buddy.
Yeah, hey, buddy, you actually read the script and you actually remembered, so that to introduce Joe. So that was a good job
Yeah,
reading the
so
script.
quick question that you a-hole.
That's pretty awesome. Your literacy has passed again, so that's you're 2 for 2 today on reading. That's awesome.
And he's
Anyways-
on time. And he's on time. I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
I set up a Red Star cluster to him about 5 minutes prior just to make sure.
Touche.
Anyways, before Buddy starts getting beat up again, and then he'll go into his cave and not talk, we'll just we'll get on with the show here and introduce our guest, Mike Donnelly. Dave, okay, there's no umlaut over that. So Mike,
Entschuldigung,
yeah.
Mike. Es tut mir leid.
Mike is coming to us from the Bahamas, right? So we feel really bad for him right now because he has to quarantine. Yeah, we don't. Anyways, he is a Navy SEAL that has become an entrepreneur, and he has started a CBD company, a couple other companies that he's going to talk about. But before we let Mike describe, his background in the military, his care for veterans, and the stuff that he's come up with, the big question I have, and we kind of addressed this in our pregame in the dressing room, was: is it hard as a Navy SEAL retired to know that you didn't do anything book worthy while in? Because every SEAL writes a book. You are the exception. So I know you went a different route, and we applaud you. So I got to know if that hurts. So go ahead, Mike. Welcome to the show.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys. You guys rock. By the way, so I wasn't on the West Coast, so really book deals. Nobody approached me for a book deal. I would have wrote one, but nobody approached me. Number two, I probably graduated last in my class out of high school just to get in the military. So I don't know big words. So books don't work for me. I try to do movies. I got in really good shape for movies, but nobody came calling either. So I'm here just doing business.
Right. So you had to do something else because your SEAL time wasn't as cool as the others. I got it. I mean, but that's what we kind of trying to reach our audience of, being resilient and finding something else to do. So tell us a little bit about your military career, and then what you've started, and how, the process, and, the veteran side of it that some of our viewers are wanting to see how to do it when they get out.
Yeah. So 17, joined the military. Like I said, didn't like school, barely got out of that place. I think they just passed me so I wouldn't come back another year. Joined the military 17. Back when I went in 89, there were no movies, there were no books. So I sat in front of a little TV, and they showed me dudes jumping in and out of airplanes and dudes jumping in and out of boats and shooting. I'm like, that looks pretty cool. I'll give that a shot. Next thing you know, class up, graduate buds, 127 started, 18 of us graduated. You guys want to know more about buds? I know you like buds. You want to know more? I can go through buds.
I don't know.
Went to scuba school, so go ahead. Go ahead, buddy. You went to scuba school and you did flutter kicks in the water. That's cool. Tell us about your flutter kicks, buddy.
Yeah. But I went to the United States Army Special Operations Combat Diver School. I'm just saying, everybody knows it's harder. So,
Yes.
no big deal.
No big deal. Listen, I'll buy that for $1. Did 10 years active, sniper, a bunch of great quals. At the 10-year mark, decided I didn't want to do it for the rest of my life. I wanted to be my own boss, not be told where to go, cut my hair, do this, do that. So 10-year mark, it was either do it again and do a career, or get out and do my own thing. Got out, went back to Miami. I'm born and raised in Miami. Went to college. I tried the schooling thing again. That sucked. So started working in the low voltage industry, pulling wires through attics, installing fire alarm systems and security systems and camera systems. So very interesting. 27-year-old Navy SEAL sniper, starting at the bottom, working my way up. So I worked for a company for about 12 years. Went from installing to sales to running the company operations, and then eventually getting my own state license. So I'm a state licensed fire alarm security contractor, one of the largest in South Florida. I have an office in Atlanta. From there, I took that business, invested into multiple other businesses, gyms. I've owned gyms around the world. I own nutrition company, shoe company, just an entrepreneur. Like, there's nothing I couldn't do, nothing I didn't want to do, nothing. If I saw a valuable way to make money at it or grow it, I invested in it. and brings me into what I'm doing now in CBD. So, and before I started CBD Path, I'm thoroughly involved in fundraising. Year round, I'm at event to event, raising money for our veterans. Very close to my heart. I'm on the board of the Navy SEAL Museum. And from that, it gets me into a lot of events and meets a lot of people. And started CBD Path, which is my ultimate passion right now, which keeps me going to keep helping veterans right now.
That's awesome. So Joe and I were talking about this a little earlier today about, when the ball's in your court, what are you going to do with it, right? So we have another guy who posted that when he got out of the military, he had a tough time and he was only making like $8 an hour, right? And it's at what point do you shut it off and quit? Now, something about like, the Rangers, paratroopers, the SEALs, SF guys, we obviously have shown that we're not quitting. Like we're not going to do that. But again, that's us preaching to the choir. And then Joe and I said, we've all on this show admitted that we suck at things and that there was times that we doubted ourselves. So like you said, you got out, you tried the school thing, didn't really work out. Then you went and worked pulling some wires, probably not something you envisioned yourself doing, right? But it's like that grind and then getting to where you needed to be.
There it is.
So that's exactly like, was there ever a time where you doubted like, well, shit, maybe I should have stayed in?
2001, right?
Yeah.
So I got out before 2001. So by the time 2001 came around, I remember the exact fucking place I was. That was huge for me with my skill sets and what I did, not to go back in. And, there's enough guys out there, enough young guys that have the qualities and can get the job done. I didn't go back in. I was moving forward in business and in life. So I didn't join back in. So that's one of the times that for me, I'm like, shit, am I really doing the right thing? Whatever. But other than that, no, so I always saw my path. I humbled myself. I started at the bottom and worked my way up, built myself, man. It's like anybody can do it doing anything, whether it's McDonald's, whether it's, a lot of people get out of the military. We're not businessmen. We don't know business. We don't know the ins and outs of business. So we get out thinking, shit, I was SF. I was 10, 12, 20 years. I'm going to get out. I'm going to go in this position. I'm going to make, $100,000 a year. It doesn't happen like that. And it makes sense. You've got to humble yourself. You've got to start at the bottom at whatever it is you enjoy and then work your ass off and show them that you can fucking do what it takes to be the man, and you'll fucking shoot yourself up. And I tell a lot of people, the American dream is to own your own business. Not everybody can do it, but you got to give it a shot. So, you can start your own business and maybe not succeed at it, but you got to give it a shot. I think it's the American dream personally.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that. Exactly. Go off and do something. And like Joe copied Buddy's quote of, hey, if you're going to just sit there and bitch about it, why not, sack up, get in the game. Yep. And that's kind of what we're going after with our audience, Mike, is, if we can catch them early. We went over last week about the average suicide for a veteran is actually in the 40s to 50s. Yep. So that's where the most likely. So that seed starts somewhere when they get out, and it continues to build. And we're trying to be proactive about it and catch them while it's young and be like, hey, look, man, like you just said, humble yourself. All right. You made a decision to get out of the stable paycheck. That's not a great one, but it's stable. Right. And then, and now go do something. And guess what? You're going to fail. And that kind of goes into my soapbox a little bit, but we're not there yet at that point in the show. But tell us a little bit about unless anybody else has a question for Mike, tell us a little bit about your CBD. Like what exactly, what are the benefits of it? What does it do? Go ahead, Joe.
I got one for Mike, and I know we're going to get into CBD, and I don't mean to extend you, but Mike, tell them the difference. Tell them the difference between somebody that listens to that self-doubt and you. I mean, you know what I mean? There's those days where you're like, okay, am I good enough? You watch somebody that you secretly let mentor you online, somebody that you follow their little nuggets of wisdom, and you say, all right, what the fuck am I doing? Am I kidding myself? Look at this guy. Look at me. It's happened to all of us. Every last one of us have done it. What's the difference between someone that's where you're at and someone that listens to that shit.
Well, Joe, so like, I appreciate that. And like Nick said, I disagree. You're not going to fail unless you tell yourself you're going to fail. So there's bumps, but it's not failure. So yeah, if you believe you're failing, then that's a mindset, you know, and you hear it all the time. Mindset's everything. Mindset's huge. So you're not failing. You're hitting bumps. You're hitting some roadblocks and you're going around them. You know, Joe, I didn't really. So I had a divorced parents, but I believe they did a good job in raising me. So I believe I bounced off of, you know, good parenting. And then in the teens, I had great leaders. You know, there was nothing I couldn't do. There was nothing I couldn't accomplish. There was a solution to everything, you know, and as long as I believe there's a solution to everything, there's a solution. You know, I don't get stuck. I don't stress. I don't take a step backward. And if, you know, where somebody might think it's a step backward, I don't think it's a step backward. So I believe it's a strong mindset. I believe
mindset. Yeah.
Like I've worked out my whole life. I think your physical fitness is huge. I think that's, you know, 50, 60% of your mentality is how you look and how you treat yourself, you know? So there's a lot of aspects that go into it. I believe mindset's a big one, and I don't believe in failure. I believe there's solutions to everything.
I think the big thing is, and it's been borne out to all of us because all of us have done things that other people wouldn't do. Failure only begins when you quit. Like if you mess something up, that's not failure. That's just where you have to reevaluate yourself and then go back and do it again. Like everybody has bumps no matter what they're doing, just like Mike said. But if you fucking quit and give up, then you failed. Other than that, you're just going back and fixing what fucked up.
Yeah, we lost you a little bit there, buddy, in your Kia or whatever you're driving there. Is that a Kia? Not quite sure.
It looks like
was it on sale?
That's a fancy sunroof. But yeah, Mike,
I kind of wondered.
Mike, I completely get what you're saying. Buddy might step on me, but I completely get what you're saying. Where if you don't agree that you cannot do this, then you can do it. If you refuse to accept that there's no freaking solution, it sounds corny, but you know what? Try it. The next time you want to just say fuck it, turn around and do the other thing and see what happens.
Right.
You know, right. It does sound like, oh wow, that's some, you know, dime store wisdom or whatever. But you know what? Right. The fact of the matter is it's not that complicated. Yep. It's the thing you don't want to do is, I was just talking to my wife about this. It's the thing you don't want to do, which is the thing you should probably do first.
Yeah.
And after that, your perspective changes.
Doing the things that are out of your comfort zone initially make you stronger. 100% right, Joe. You do something that you're not used to doing, that you're scared of. The minute you say, I can't do it, boom, you're psyching yourself out. You're going to fail. The minute you tell yourself you can make it happen and you can do it, you're going to push right through it.
Hey, Suds, I know you're
I have
listening
to
in the
agree
background.
with you on that one, man. You know, if I could just for 1 second.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Young.
You know, getting out of the military, you wake up, you know, and you're like, shit, there's no formation. There's no uniform inspection. There's no nothing. What the hell do I do?
No accountability.
None. And, you know, you try something. You're like, well, you know, hell, I've been a NCOIC for years. I could go out here and lead any business. You walk in there and you're like, this ain't right. You know, yeah, you stumble, but the man in you needs to reach down and grab that sack and say, the hell with it. I might have, you know, slipped back here, but I'm going to make it bigger over here. You know, since 2008, I can't count the different careers I've tried to do just because, you know, one didn't work the way it was supposed to. So you go and you find the next one.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Buddy can't
find that passion.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Buddy can't make it bigger in some areas. He's trying though. But, so Mike, where can we get at what you're doing now with the CBDs and kind of give us like what the value is in them? A lot of us, obviously some of us are, educated on it, but give the audience the importance of CBD and what it can do for you and where we can get it at from you specifically.
Yeah, appreciate that. So we got into CBD. So I do, like I said before, I do a lot of fundraising throughout the year. A lot of events that I go to with a lot of patriots and wounded warriors, a lot of veterans at these fundraisers. And I started to notice that there's a theme with these guys taking CBD and having great results with it. One of my close friends, Rick, had amputated his foot, having a lot of trouble, anxiety, got on CBD, and not mine. This is during the time we were doing our research. Got on the CBD, and he said it saved his life. So we did a lot of research. The federal government took it off the banned list 2018. And then we started looking into it, did a lot of research, and then decided to start our own company for veterans. We're huge into marketing to veterans. We have a ton of feedback. Like, I'm not sure if any of you guys take CBD, but for anxiety, for insomnia, for inflammation, CBD is crushing it. We get so many emails, so many thank yous, so many. I used to sleep 2 hours to 3 hours a night. I'm sleeping 6 to 7 now. The anxiety that they have throughout the day, it's limiting their anxiety. It's cutting the edges off their anxiety. CBD is huge right now. Fortunately, unfortunately, it's a little saturated right now, and you're having some companies that have come to the forefront with the right product and the right quality. One of our biggest things is education. Right now with CBD, there's not a lot of education. There's not when to take it, why to take it, how to take it. So we're focusing on that. We're collaborating with a lot of veteran organizations such as Headstrong and organizations like that to get this in front of people and work together to get in front of our veterans. We believe it's going to help them get off of the pharmaceuticals that they're taking now. So for me, it's a passion right now, putting a lot of time and effort into this, trying to get in front of people, working on a 501c3 right now so that we can actually get this to veterans that can't afford it. I believe it does wonders, man. And it's different for everybody, but no question it works. No question we have the results and the feedback from veterans and civilians alike that this product's out there and we're pushing it. We're working it. That's what we're doing.
Oh, nice, Mike. Hey, where can the people watching? Because we'll get about anywhere from 1 to 200 to maybe even 1,000 after we boost it. Where do they get it from you?
If you go to cbdpath.com, we have a quiz on there. So if you don't know what to take or how to take or when to take, we'll have a quiz on there that'll narrow it down to the product you should probably be looking for, whether it's for sore knees, elbows, shoulders. We have a topical. We have tinctures, which you put under your tongue before you go to sleep, or capsules that you can take throughout the day. And then we also, because we work with a lot of dog programs as well, we have pet products, and dogs receive CBD very well. If you've got a dog that's having some issues, or you need that dog just to knock it off and have a nice calm day, we have CBD products. So if you
that's actually, Mike, I can back that up 100%. There was a rescue that my son's mother got, who had seizures really bad. Mike, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it was exactly there's only one way they treat it. He gets like super excited. He goes into a seizure. They put the CBD oil on his tongue and have taped it. My son's done it for him because he only every dog's got the one person they follow. Well, he follows my son. And my son has actually put the droplets on his tongue, and it's on video. He comes out of it. Now, it's not a miracle drug for everything, but it does for him, that anxiety with that severe panic, it brings them back out of it. And what Mike just said, I've watched it happen.
Yep.
Yeah, on that point with, like you said, it's not necessarily for everybody, because that's the education thing Mike was talking about. It might be not for one purpose, for one person, whatever, but the education needs to get better at it, like Mike was saying. But Mike, a couple of questions from the audience that are watching are, what are the benefits of CBD for PTSD? And also, are there any side effects?
Well, unfortunately, there's not enough studies, right? So the FDA hasn't put enough time and effort into it yet. There's a lot of studies in Israel that are coming out. So unfortunately for PTSD, there's not enough studies to say, okay, it's going to do this for you. CBD is for your toolbox, right? You still have to be a healthy person. You still got to exercise. You still have to, not drink throughout the day. There's still things you got to do in life, and it's for your toolbox. It's something that's going to take the edge off. It's something that's going to help you sleep better at night. There's no question in my mind CBD helps you sleep better at night. There's no question in my mind that CBD takes the anxiety off. So with your PTSD, like if you're getting anxiety from PTSD, if you're getting sleepless nights from PTSD, I'm going to tell you that CBD is going to have an effect for you. But there's still along the line, you've got to be healthily, you have to be conscious to be healthy. And this isn't, you're right, it's not a miracle drug. It's not a magic drug. It's not going to cure all your problems, but I guarantee it'll assist you with a lot of them.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Mike. That's great info. That kind of leads right into my soapbox, and we're going to keep beating it down into your heads to people that are watching. And what Mike was just talking about, you've heard a couple of times on our show already from the whole group, from everybody on here, on our page, is that it's a system. Right? Your body's a system. Your life is a system. There isn't one thing that's going to fix the problems in your life, right? And the problem, again, I'll say it every time, is the English language is a linear language. So this will solve this. And it's like, oh, you have anxiety? Well, if you take this pill, you'll sleep better, and it's all gone, right? But like what Mike just said, all right, you got to buy in. All right. You got to buy into the whole system change to where, are you drinking all day? Are you sitting there thinking negative? Who do you surround yourself with? Right? Are you going to just quit and throw your hands up? Because guess what? That's what the majority of people do. Doesn't even mean in America or anywhere else. But the reason why there's winners is because there's a bunch of people that are sitting there just not putting their hand in the game. All right. They're not trying. Okay. And there's a quote, that I like, that the only thing that confines you is the walls that you build. Mm-hmm. So like Mike said, I said the word failure, and it's interesting because as I do my studies at the Yale of the Southwest, UTEP, as I study there, it's like a lot of the things are the verbiage you use, right? So do you use subordinate when you're talking about somebody that works for you? All right, because right there, when you call them a subordinate, all right, that can do a lot of damage already before you even start. So what I said failure, Mike disagreed, again, because of the verbiage. Now, but hand in hand, when you fail, a lot of times, like he talked about business, you just get out of the Army, you go right into a business, think you can run a business. You're wrong, man. Like you're going to find some real lessons real quick. And with that, they don't teach you in college when you're getting your business management degree or your business administration degree, whatever. They don't teach you about the startup failure rate. They don't teach you about what it's like to fail, right? And like I said, we don't have to use the word fail, but they don't teach you about what it's like to, hey, you just got hit in the jaw, right? You're still there, right? You didn't get knocked out. You're still there. It's like, what are you going to do, right? That's what they need to be teaching in schools to these young business kids, hell, to everybody. So that when somebody else gets elected, they don't start crying on TV. Like, who gives a shit, right? Anyways, last thing I'm going to say, because I want to keep it short and sweet because we got the young gun on here, is I say it all the time, don't chase certainty. The only thing certain in this life is that you're going to die.
And taxes.
And taxes, right? Well, we can get away from those. We'll talk offline on that. It's got some tips, but anyways, so there is a certainty in your mind, like Mike was talking about earlier, that you're going to succeed, right? That is a certainty thing you can put in your head, but then we have to look at what does it mean to succeed, right? So the first thing you tried didn't work. Does that make you a failure? No. Like Mike said, it didn't make you a failure, right? How I said it was you failed at that thing, right? Get over it. Don't keep chasing that thing that you failed at until you improve it, all right? Improve it, go at it again. Improve it, go at it again. Improve it. Everybody who's been in a combat mission, all right, we know that you don't plan for certainty. You plan for a most likely course of action, right? You prepare for a more dangerous course of action, right? And you train your guys so that when the oh shit thing happens, because it always happens, everybody in your team, everybody in your squad, everybody in your platoon, all right, they know what the end state is. They know what the mission is. You trust them. They're going to fight. They're going to win, right? That's what it is. We don't plan for, hey, we have to get here at this time and it has to be at this point, and otherwise everything's going to fail. Well, if you plan that way, you're going to lose, all right? You're going to lose bad. So if you're chasing that one thing and you're only looking for certainty, bring up the coronavirus like Buddy did. Why do we need a cure? We searched for a cure for AIDS for decades, right? We've been dealing with viruses for centuries since the beginning of time.
Hey, Nick, how many people have had, everybody on the show, who's had corona?
Well, we don't know.
We don't know.
I mean,
it depends on how you look at it.
One of the guys that was on my last team, his wife was a nurse on the corona floor in the hospital. He got it, she got it, both his kids got it. Not a single one of them had a negative symptom other than like a headache for a day, and then they kept it moving. Nothing after that.
I think my opinion is I think we've probably all had it already, honestly, and we just didn't notice anything. I have a couple friends and family members who've got it, but again, nothing happened. They were good to go. No symptoms, nothing.
Commercial construction experience from March until now, I've been exposed to it about 17 dozen times. I mean, I swear to God, every other morning we would show up and the job site would be closed. They'd be like, well, we got to bring people into clinic because someone tested positive. It has happened from March until now.
Go ahead, Mike.
Have I missed a show? Have I been sick? Like, I mean.
So I had it. I know I had it. My wife tested positive. I have the antibodies, so I know I had it. I never took a test because I could care less. But then I had to take the test to come to the Bahamas, or they wouldn't let me come. It lasted a day and a half. And the reason why is because I kept all the tools in my toolbox. I stayed in shape. I stayed healthy. I eat well. And I do what I do in life to be the best I can be. And as long as I do that, all this other surrounding bullshit will just be, bullshit. Exactly.
You're spot on. You're spot on, Mike. Spot on. And that's what I said last week about, prepare yourself to be awesome tomorrow, because we don't know if tomorrow is going to happen. Like, again, we're not chasing certainty, but if tomorrow does happen, right, I put myself in the best position to destroy tomorrow. Like, I am going to absolutely be awesome tomorrow. And we know that we're, like I said, all of us on this damn show have said how we screw up. So don't call me a hypocrite, man. I went out and drank all night when I had something important to do the next day, and I suffered for it. Right. Like I did something stupid. That was my choice. Right. So like Joe said earlier in his about, don't try to validate yourself through social media because you feel bad. Right. Most of the problems in your life are self-inflicted. All right. So set yourself up for success. Don't chase that certainty. And like I keep saying it, when is the national broadcasting message going to come out and say, hey, make sure you don't eat at McDonald's today. Make sure you go for a 10-mile walk and you work out and you take your vitamins, get your sleep, get your sun. We have everybody on this show the last month. And again, like Joe said, we've given you all the tools, but that toolbox, you have to open it, man. You're the only one that can do it.
Nick,
you're the only one.
The second day I had coronavirus. So the day after I had the shivers and the body aches and I was laid up in bed on a Monday. The next day, I got my ass out of bed, got in the garage. I live in Miami, so hot as fuck, sweating all day long, sitting in my garage on purpose. Put a 35 sack on, went for a 12-mile march. Tuesday, having coronavirus. Tuesday night, I felt fantastic.
Nice. Yeah. So like I said, the wrong message is getting put out, and the wrong message is getting put out to our veterans to make them the victim. All right. You're not a victim. All right. Knock it off. Get in the driver's seat, take control. And the page that we've started, and when we scale, when we get bigger, right, we're going to have all of the stuff for you. You just got to use it. We got the guys with the CBD. We have the guys with the brain waves and the magnets. We got the guys with muscle activation. We got guys who are going to help you out with your mortgage and your finance. right? We got all these people on here to make everything easier for you, right? Take it, go, take that, just go with it, run with it, go do something awesome. And guess what? Awesome might be making $12 an hour.
Right.
So what? Like that might be the best job of your life. I had a blast working at Domino's, man. I got a fucking blast. If I could do that for a living, hell, dude, I would do that. But anyways, we're getting too far off topic. I'm going to turn it back over to Joe so he can introduce the young gun. All right. The first guy that we ever fucking banned on our page is now a guest on our show. So Joe, take it over.
All right. Well, I don't know if it is contagious. If the VTT page has caught something, but we got Marines 2 weeks in a row. It might be an infestation.
Two.
But Mike, this man actually shared the same mother with one of our very close brothers. He's down there in the bottom right-hand corner of the page, and Mike does. He's got his own design. He's got his own page. He does his own apparel. It's called Battleborn Apparel. He's got some pretty sick designs. Mike, you better put your information there when the show is over so we can blast your page. He also does some backyard wrestling for vets, and he does a lot with the VFW. Mike, I'm not gonna steal any more of your time other than maybe one question about the wrestling. The floor is yours, brother. Go ahead.
All right. Well, thanks guys for having me on. And yes, unfortunately, I am related to Paris up there. You know, he is what he is. I love him though. But yeah, you know, we're here in Virginia, man. We've goes along right there with what Michael was saying about sometimes you don't know what you're going to do when you get out. You know, the last thing I thought about doing when I got out of the Marine Corps was graphic designs, and that has become like my passion in life. I actually own my own graphic company, Arnium. And then I am the senior designer for Battleborn Apparel, where it's me and another Marine and one more gentleman who have this amazing apparel company. We do all your civil services. We have a police department line, fire department line, EMT, EMS. We've got your Till Valhalla. We've also got your FUBAR line coming out where it's going to be all the crazy shit that we say in and around the barracks. I've got a shirt coming out. It's called Skate. You know, the whole seat cover, avoid at all costs, you know, and evade. So that's coming out soon. The best thing about it is it's every dollar, or for every shirt, there's going to be $1 donated to one of our local, either police departments or rescue squads or fire departments. So, you know, that's one of the biggest things about this company is we're not in it for the money. We're in it because it's fun. We get to goof off, print some shirts, make some people happy. Yeah, at the end of the day, the money's good, but that's not what it's about. It's about having fun and doing something we enjoy doing and sticking it to everybody who said that, you know, just because I eat crayons, that I can't do something worthwhile.
But Mike, eating crayons. Go ahead, Joe. Sorry.
Mike. I heard you dabble in the amateur wrestling circuit. Can you tell me about that? And I'll have a follow-up question after, but I want to hear what you have to say.
I am a professional wrestling ring announcer for 2 different wrestling federations that are in the area. I work with Rated R Wrestling, and I also work with AIWF Mid-Atlantic. I've been invited to Illinois and, you know, several places in the world. Preston's been to a couple of the shows that we've done. He likes to pose on my ring, which I think is hilarious, but you know, man, it's opened up a lot of doors. Believe it or not, it's given me a platform to where I can reach the veterans in an area where most people wouldn't think about. You know, I can get up there. We did the national anthem. Nobody kneels. We, you know, we do veteran shows where it's nothing but other veterans that are wrestling that night. And it gives you an outlet, not to mention, you know, you go from and not, like I said, not really knowing what you're going to do with your life, but it's also a great outlet. It's the rage, the PTSD, the TBI, the all of that shit that the VA tells you need to go and talk to a counselor about. Go get in the ring for 2 hours and come out and tell me you still feel angry.
See, that was what I was actually interested in, because, you know, I know you guys share a mother, but Paris is 100% Dave, Nick, and I's brother as well. And see, what we heard was, and Suds, I think we got a picture of this. If you're tracking, is I don't know, year and a half ago, Paris showed up in the ring. There it is.
Yeah.
And challenged you to a steel cage match, no holds barred. And he said the minute after this picture was taken, you let the ghost out, and the smoke from your tires just going, hit about 100, leaving the back parking lot, and he cannot find you anywhere, not even for Thanksgiving. And he's actually, in this fight promo, he said, this is the difference when you come from the same mother, and one joins the Marines and one becomes a paratrooper. I'm not here to judge, but I'm just saying the photo is there, Mike.
Yeah, you know, but what he didn't tell you,
Mike,
Paris is here. Paris is here.
Mike, I gotta come in on that as just a objective fan on the outside, because right now it's not looking good for you. I mean, Paris called you out, and like you didn't want to, you know, what is it? You know, keep the pride and honor of the Marine Corps. There's a line in one of your songs that's about like what is it? The due to your honor to the nation, something like that, or
yeah.
You know,
but see, he didn't.
You probably know it. So
he didn't tell you that he had to ask permission and pay me to stand up on that rope and take that picture.
Oh, so you're his boss.
That's right.
That's what you're saying. All right, hey, welcome to the show, Preston Paris. He's been on a couple times. What you got, man?
Hey, he can come up with all the excuses he wants. The only one backing him is his mama.
Woo! Now, again, Paris is a guy that took a disc around to the neck, and he's still here. So, you know, like, Mike, what is it, Young Gun? When is this going to happen? Like, let's set a date, and we're going to sponsor it. BTT is going to sponsor it. When is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Young Gun, did you freeze up again in the Marine Corps? Young Gun, when's it going to happen?
He ran off again. He ran off.
It's funny that he's frozen right now, but I think he ran off. Anyways,
he got a little scared.
When his internet comes back, we will discuss this call out. Disconnected. Okay, so Suds is telling us it disconnected. Well, we'll go back to
conveniently disconnected.
Conveniently, as soon as I come back on, he disconnects.
It's perfect, right? Right when the airborne shows up, they break contact and go on home.
Hey, Mike,
we'll stay here until the end. No big deal,
I got a couple things for you while we're waiting for the Marine to stop.
Hey, there we are.
Get back on.
I had to go check my calendar.
Hey, yeah. Before we know that you logged off, but did you hear the call out? Yes or no?
Oh, I told Preston all he's got to do is give me a call. We'll schedule it up.
I told you VTT will sponsor it. All right, and we're gonna see it go down, and we're gonna put it live.
That's right.
I do have a question for Mike. Bill Pearson, he's one of our UFC experts, special forces, but he also calls in he's a 13 Fox, he's a fire guy, and then he went SF. But he was saying you should definitely check out Gold Star Century Team and run for them for the sponsorships. That kind of for the fundraising. So if you do run, look up Gold Star Century Team. Obviously, we know what Gold Star means, but for the civilians listening, Gold Star is for the mom and dad that gave their son or daughter, to lost them in service. That's a Gold Star mother and father. So they take care of those people. Bill asks to both guests, so to both Mikes, what are the top 3 lessons learned or things you wish someone would have told you about starting a business? All of those vets thinking about starting a business. Now, I know Mike kind of covered that where it's like you might not know shit about business. So with that, again, what are the top 3 lessons learned in your guys' success? We'll start with Young Gun.
I wish somebody would have told me that, the civilian sector is going to look at you and tell you you're too intimidating to actually be a business owner. And then that just because you're a veteran doesn't mean you're going to absolutely succeed right out the bat. Like I said, when I first got out of the Marine Corps, I was expecting, I'd go start my own business and do whatever I want. And I'm going to make millions because I'm a Marine Corps veteran. Well, it didn't happen that way. And then I think the last one would be to, you got to keep digging. You have to keep digging no matter what. Doesn't matter how hard they slap you. You got to get back up and keep going.
Okay, awesome. So obviously there wasn't one lesson learned. There was 2 or 3. There was just one for the young gun. It was keep digging. But hey, Mike, what do you think? Can you come up with a couple lessons learned for some of the guys watching?
Lessons learned. Nobody owes you a fucking thing. So you join the military. Nobody made you join the military. You're nobody special. You're nobody different. Nobody owes you a goddamn thing. So remember that. Go get a fucking job, whatever it is you want to do, and work hard at it. I mean, that's life in general. Find something you like and work hard at it. I mean, that's fucking common sense. Yeah, work hard, man. Just don't stop grinding. Don't stop. Like every day, wake the fuck up early in the morning. So my foot hits the ground every day at 6:30, and I hustle every day. I don't have to. Honestly, I don't have to. I do well for myself, but I hustle every fucking day at multiple businesses because I put myself in the position to do that. I don't stop until my head hits the pillow at night. At nighttime, when my head hits the pillow, that's when I go to sleep. But between those times, I'm working. I don't stop. I don't sit on the couch and watch TV. I don't drink throughout the week, honestly. I eat good meals throughout the day. I work hard. On the weekends, I'll cut loose and trust me, I party like a rock star, but I work hard as well. So like nobody owes you anything, man. Just fucking grab something and start working hard at it. Whether you can, it's so easy and so many people do it. They start at something and they work their way up if they have the right attitude. So have the right attitude, have the right mindset, fucking bust your ass. It's easy.
Yeah, so there you have it, Trash Talkers. And good question, Bill, on YouTube Live. Again, we keep saying it, the growth and fixed mindset. There's books written about it by smarter people than us. All right, they have the psychology degrees, right? So they write them and they give you the reasons why this platform. We get a hold of Mike Donnelly, get a hold of Mike Young Gun after the show. We're going to put out their websites, all that kind of stuff on the show. Get a hold of them.
Yep.
We're going to give you all the tools to be successful. Like Preston, he's on the show about 4 times now because we love him for one, but 2, it's like, he sells pills that make it bigger, so we buy that stuff, because everybody wants to have bigger biceps. Now, again, can't help Buddy Beckwith if he's still on his problem, but I think Mike Donnelly has something that can help you get that testosterone level boosted up a little bit.
What problem are we talking about? Being awesome?
I mean, we don't have to bring it up, but
that's a problem. Being too fucking awesome is shitty a lot of times.
Okay, you're still driving, huh? Man, that Kia gets good gas mileage.
Yeah, it does. It's runs on hopes and dreams.
So the sister's probably still chasing in her Kia. Oh, she probably got a Ford.
Move closer. Tell your sister to move closer.
Yeah. But anyways, that's
she doesn't have to chase me. All she's got to do is say the word.
That's so bad.
Yeah, that's great. Man. What a great show we're having, guys. And again, the veterans need to hear it. We've been having shows about holistic healing and, just pulling yourself up and going after and getting it. And we'll talk about it some more and we'll close out here in a little bit. But guys, this page is started so that we can all talk to each other. We can all grow. We can all get better. And we've all sucked at things. We've all, got punched in the face. What are you doing? What are you doing after you get punched in the face? All right. Are you taking those 2 steps back? or are you figuring out how he hit you and how you're going to stop it? All right, and how you're going to hit it back the next time. All right, those are the big things that we're looking at. But let's go with Young Gun again. And what do you got? Any other advice for veterans, or say your businesses again, and all that kind of stuff?
The biggest advice I have, and this goes with my public speaking that I do, this year's title is it's a diagnosis, not a description. You know, I don't give a damn what those doctors at the VA say you have. That doesn't mean that's who, you know, that doesn't define who you are. You could be 100% disabled, non-employable and all that, but you can still be worth something in the world. Your diagnosis does not define who you are. And I'm actually speaking with the VFW National here in the next couple months or so, and the Daughters of the Revolution on this topic. You know, that's my biggest thing that veterans need to know, is that, you know, it's a diagnosis, not a definition. Other than that, man, look me up on Facebook, redemptioninkapparel.com for Battleborn t-shirts. You can also go to rnmpromoskin.com and check out some other graphic designs that I've done. Other than that, man, thank you guys so much for having me on.
Hey, Nick, I'm gonna go on a limb here. So, actually, Young Gun, I'm gonna go on a limb. We're probably not the smartest in the fucking bunch, right? Like, I know I'm not. I know I'm not. But what it took was hard work. Like, so you got veterans out there that are looking for work, are looking to be successful. You know, we're not the smartest in the bunch, man. We just work hard. You know, we put our mind to something and we don't stop. You know,
that's it.
Hey, I can't tell you one day I've ever felt sorry for myself, ever.
And that's it. You know, I mean, it starts from the minute my feet hit the ground to the minute my feet are propped up on the pillow to go to bed. I mean, I don't stop. You know, I mean, I work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. And if
it's not veterans themselves, you know, give me a call.
Yeah, what we're talking about before, Nick, is that, you know, I was doing another podcast or something. They gave me we were talking about word game. And so they wanted me to tell them who my hero was. I don't have a hero. I don't have a hero. There's not one person in this world that I think deserves all my respect and credit. The people that work as teams, the people that work together, like, so there's not one person that I believe is a hero to me. And there's not one person that I respect more than any other person. I think everybody, you know, deserves the respect and value in life. That I don't put one person like, this is the person, like, who do I want to, they asked who I wanted to have dinner with. If I could pick somebody, who do I want to have dinner with? I have dinner with who I want to every night. That's my circle and my family. There's nobody out there that deserves for me to sit down and have dinner with them, because I'm putting them above everybody else and who I am. I believe in myself and the people around me. You know, it's huge. It's huge to believe in yourself.
Yeah, awesome words, man. Go ahead, Dave.
All mindset. Hey, everybody tuned in. Thanks for watching. Make sure you follow us on all of our platforms. Check out our Facebook group. Go to veterantrashtalk.com. Check out some of the merch that we're wearing. We're in the fight, and we will stay in this fight until we can come up with some sort of a solution. Yeah, there you go. Nice big guns, Nick. You got a little bit of work on that, but you're good. Ooh, okay. I didn't see that. All right, here we go.
Paris at? Where's Paris at?
Paris?
Should put us all to shame.
I was going to say Paris just lost his spleen.
I was going to say he's hiding a scar.
Yeah.
Hey,
he had a cesarean. He had his baby taken out.
Website. Keep supporting the movement. Mike, we appreciate the info. I think it's all mindset. I think it's all psychologically. Keep pushing through. You can accomplish anything in life if your mindset is right. Our motto is send it, and we do it on a daily. So thanks everybody for watching, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah.
Can I ask you one question? Did you know what the Army guys said to each other walking down the street?
What's that?
So they saw a dog licking his nuts, and the one Army guy said to the other Army guy, I wish I could do that. And his buddy told him, I wouldn't do it. He'd probably bite you.
That's right.